That's cool. And we are live. Hi, guys and girls. Gallifrey from 97 here. I'm joined by my trio of live stream buddies. We got Philip, say hello,
Hello.
and Adam.
Hello.
Hello, hello. So yeah, different live stream today. Obviously, last year we were doing all the series and reviews, but I thought this year, and I've always wanted to do these, and I thought we'd just mash them all together, do some Marvel stuff. So today we're going to be reviewing Captain Marvel, which is the latest Marvel film out of 20 film plus films and TV shows and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm a great fan for it. I don't know how much these guys probably love it, but no, I say it's an ever-growing franchise, and of course we've got Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man coming up. But yeah, so we're going to be talking sort of spoiler-free first of all, getting our spoiler-free thoughts, and then we'll be going to sort of spoilers, and then at the end we'll be talking about the post-credit scenes, sort of teeing up future films. But first of all, what are both your thoughts on the new trailer for Avengers 4, which was last week? I know you've, Philip, reacted to it, so I'm interested, Adam, to see what you thought on the new trailer.
Yes, I liked it. I thought it was a very effective way to have the when we were flashing back to the previous Marvel films in black and white, and the use of red in some of them as well. Like I think the red of Thor's cape and Scarlet Witch's costume. I thought that it was a really clever, effective way to really bring it all together. And Robert Downey Jr. doing that monologue of it felt like a million years climbing out of the cave, becoming Iron Man. I thought that was a really powerful way to open it, and it pretty much feels like the true endgame of the original Avengers team. And there's all nice action-packed, epic shots, and the Russo brothers have an incredible track record. Probably my favorite directors that have taken on these characters in the MCU. Winter Soldier was a brilliant political kind of thriller, and then you have in Civil War, which kind of really pushes the characters further, and then Infinity War, where half of the universe disappears. And they're great with the character. I'm sure they're going to do really well with Avengers Endgame. I'm really looking forward to it because I really can't see what could go wrong.
No, this is kind of like be the icing on the cake, hopefully. And I think, like I said, they definitely have a track record for having great films. And each one of the films has kind of shook up the universe, like Winter Soldier, obviously took away Shield. Obviously, Captain Civil War broke up the Avengers. Thanos obviously wiping out the universe in Avengers 3. So it'll be interesting to see where this one ends. Yeah, I know obviously you reacted to it, Philip, but if you just give us our quick thoughts on it.
Yeah, it was good. We didn't really find out anything new, but I
No.
think Marvel know that they don't need to give us anything new to get us in the seats in cinema. So why would they give anything away? I loved like Adam said, I loved the sort of artistry of the bits, the black and white bits with the red sort of highlighted and stuff. That looked very beautiful and stuff. And what else did I think about it? I'm unsure about the white uniforms that I saw them marching along in, but I gather that they're probably just the suits they need to get into the quantum realm. They're probably not going to be it's probably going to be fine. I'm not massively keen on the design, but I'm sure I'll get over it.
Yeah, I think it's mostly gone down right online. But yeah, I think depending obviously where they go with them, I think they'll probably just be like you said, traveling to and from. So even if you don't like them, it won't be on screen.
It's a minor niggle anyway. It's not going to put me off the film. It's like the film's going to be brilliant, whatever.
Yeah, we hope. But yeah, so obviously the film we're talking about today is Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson. Yeah, just quickly, just summarising sort of thoughts on the film, I guess. Starting with Philip. That's right.
Yeah, I thought it was a good film. I don't think Marvel have made a bad film. Even like the worst regarded Marvel films, like Thor: The Dark World, I think they're still good films. They're just on the scale of Marvel films, they're not great. This I would put probably somewhere sort of mid range in the Marvel films. It's not top tier. It's not Winter Soldier or Infinity War or Civil War. It's not sort of that sort of Guardians of the Galaxy sort of level in terms of come out going, wow, that was amazing. But I still had a really good time and I enjoyed most of it. So overall, very, very good film.
Hmm. How about you, Adam? What are your sort of spoiler-free thoughts on it?
Spoiler-free thoughts. Overall, I think this is a decent film. It's nothing terrible, of course. Marvel have made a truly bad film, but in this case, there was some entertaining scenes between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. There was, the scroll. I quite like certain twists and the kind of where the story was going. I was kind of intrigued because I didn't really think they would necessarily go the route they did, but I thought it was kind of cool with them. It kind of sort of gave me perspective and it kept me quite engaged rather than just kind of. I think where it kind of stands, some performances aren't as strong, but there's definitely kind of room for growth and improvement. There's something. It's one of those films. I definitely think there's something there. It's just I don't think they fired on all the cylinders necessarily with this film, but we'll go into detail as we go forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I come out enjoying the film. I thought the first. Yeah, I thought the first half was a bit messy. Obviously, we'll go into details in a bit. But no, yeah, I kind of feel enjoying the character. Yeah, as I say, it wasn't a bad film. I did have a good time with it overall at the end of it, even though I had sort of problems with like the first half. But yeah, obviously we'll be going to spoilers now. So yeah, just a spoiler warning. Just want to kind of get our quick summaries and thoughts before we go into spoilers. So you have been warned. I feel sorry for somebody who's going to join it now later on if they watch it live. But yeah, so first I'll talk about Captain Marvel. Obviously, throughout the film, she doesn't kind of know who she is. And obviously, by the end, I guess she's still discovering herself by the end of the film. But yes, what do you think about it as acting and character wise? Like, starting with Adam.
I think this is kind of where I didn't think it fired on all cylinders because I felt sometimes I didn't truly connect with Brie Larson. The kind of same way you'd connect with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man or Chris Hemsworth as Thor or Chris Evans as Captain America from like their first film. It wasn't. It's probably the direction, the way she was directed, the way she was told. You could kind of get why she probably portrayed it in such a way as she did. Kind of, she didn't give a whole lot of range and depth, but maybe that was director's decisional as such related to the characters, so could be along as that. But I didn't really connect. So I'm sure I will. Like come Endgame, the Russo brothers might, push the character further, and I just look forward to see how she does sort of fit with the whole MCU kind of bit. And then her character in this, was pretty nice. I quite liked the journey of the character. How she's discovering the truth of who she really is, and I think what I sort of gravitated most was the people that she knew, her friend and the little kid. I think it was really them that kind of made me think, And then when the kid showing her the photos of this was what happened on Christmas. This is what happened. You were really cool, and you do kind of get a sense. I quite like just the flashback, the moments of flashbacks we have when she's singing at the bar, or whether that kind of life she had. Those things were quite nice and really cool, really human. And those are really the scenes I connected to. I guess more rather than the kind of soldier stuff, which she does quite well as the kind of badass Kree soldier. But connecting to her through what she'd experienced as kind of a human, when we discover that, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm sure there's room for improvement. Like performance, she'll be directed and pushed in a stronger direction.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess like obviously with the photos thing. Obviously she was showing these things. Obviously she didn't know, she had no relation to that at all. But obviously the bar thing was quite nice, seeing all the different kind of like sort of transitions between all the different moments she had in that bar. I guess a bit like Alzheimer's, I guess, and obviously those experiences that made her Carol Danvers. So yeah, no, I like that. I think I like Brie Larson. I think you did do it pretty well. I can understand we were both sort of not firing all cylinders. It'd be interesting to see how the Russo brothers director. I guess you'll kind of see whether that sort of portrays a performance differently. What do you think? What do you think of Brie and
I think she did a good job. I think
yeah.
I can understand what you mean about the present scenes that where she's not in flashback mode. And there was a lot of criticism, I think, early on from certain places about the trailer and the fact that she seemed like she was very monotone, very one note. But actually, I quite enjoyed that because it fitted with the character and it fitted with what, like you say, it probably was direction. And I think it was the direction, it was the writing, because that's what the story was. It was part of the story that she had been trained and slightly brainwashed to be this sort of very stoic, very, no emotions, don't let your emotions get in the way, Kree soldier.
Yeah.
So it kind of made sense for her to be like that in all the scenes, especially in those early scenes where she, she's arriving on Earth and all those sort of things. That seemed to make sense. And what I quite liked was the contrast between that and the flashback scenes where we did get to see her be sort of emote more and have a bit more of a personality. And I think that's where I think Brie Larson did a good job, because you could see, the difference there, and I think that shows her acting quality by being able to portray those two different things very separately. And now she's got all her memories back. She did get all the memories back, didn't she? I can't remember now.
I guess she. Yeah, I guess she did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now she's sort of certainly she's broken away from the sort of Kree mentality of you need to be emotionless, not letting emotions get in the way type thing. So hopefully going forward, we'll see a bit more of that start to eke in. But I quite liked the sort of separation that there was in this movie of sort of the present day, the 90s set scenes and her sort of 6 years previously flashbacks and things. So yeah, I think she did a really good job.
Yeah, no, you definitely could strike a good balance and, like I said, good differentiation for her playing that, I guess. Yeah, and also going on to the next character, which I feel is kind of like the sort of co-main lead of the film, Nick Fury, played by Samuel Jackson. I'd say, to be honest, I don't know if it's because we've been used to other Marvel films, but the de-aging stuff just didn't fit. I didn't sort of keep going, oh my God, he's like, this is amazing. Like, it just kind of felt sort of natural. It was really weird. But I think, he played a really great part in it. He was hilarious. I'm interested to see what your thoughts are on about the eye reveal. Because I was just thinking, oh no, is that it? Like, and obviously throughout the film they kept going like, could this be it? Could this be the moment? It was like, no, it was the cat. What do you think about that? Start with Philip, I guess. Like, and his character.
I mean, if anybody has in my my little mini review, I recorded a little review immediately after coming out of cinema. That was my main negative of the thing, was the cat. And not the cat in general. I love the cat in general. But the Flurgle, or the Flurgle, I can't remember what it's called. But the fact that it's basically just a scratch from that infects his eye and he loses his eye. I thought, I get the kind of humor of it, and I get what they were going for, but I just really wanted something really cool. I really wanted him to, like, I don't know, be fighting a Kree or a Skrull or somebody and get his eyes stabbed out or something. I don't know, just something a bit more epic than just, a cat scratched it and it infected it or something. It just seemed a little bit, although it does tie in quite nicely, I suppose, with the line that he has in one film. I can't remember which one. Was it The Winter Soldier? I can't remember. One film to somebody, last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. And, he trusts the cat. He picks the cat up and trusts it, and he loses an eye. So I appreciate the humor of it. I just kind of wish there was something a bit more epic on that, on the cat front. On Nick Fury in general, though, I thought it was really nice seeing him again. We haven't had him in a film this much since what I suppose Winter Soldier. That was the last time we'd had him this much in a film. Other than that, he's just sort of popped up for a few moments. So it was nice to see him again. And that de-aging technology is coming along really far, I think. Because you look back to when they first used it in, like, the early Marvel films, you can really tell people's faces look quite rubbery and things. But here it worked really well, and I think it's been every film they've used it on, it's gotten better. And here it was, I didn't find myself noticing it really, especially on him. I noticed it a little bit more on Coulson.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe they just didn't put as much money behind doing it for spending the time doing it on Coulson because he wasn't in it so much. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of looked a bit more of that rubbery thing, I think.
Yeah.
It didn't look, but yeah, Samuel Jackson just got down to a T. How are you, Adam? What are your thoughts on Nick Fury and the cat?
I guess the cat out of the bag. Sorry, no pun intended. It was a very disappointing revelation. I guess in a way, I didn't think we necessarily needed to find out how it happened. Like, we didn't. It's need to be sure. It was quite nice for it to. Well, it would have been cool. I don't know if they do revisit the fact that in Winter Soldier it said last time I trusted someone I lost an eye. Whether that could have been in an actual like Nick Fury movie, that'd be quite cool, like a proper Pulp Fiction kind of thing. But I know Samuel L. Jackson did Pulp Fiction, but I don't know Pulp Fiction 2, but it's Clark Gregg and Samuel L. Jackson. It's Clark Gregg instead of John Travolta. I didn't know. I was disappointed, but I kind of just felt like maybe I don't know why. I don't know why this film maybe just it's the 90s and it sets everything up. I think like just in general, like this film is it does kind of really tie into the whole beginning of Phase 1 and the whole initiative thing at the end and the Tesseract as well. That pops up later in the film as well. And as for Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, I think was excellent and just fun. A much more lighter version of Nick Fury. Like he isn't as, I don't know if I say stoic, but he's clearly, of course, a very different kind of man. Not just the fact that for the first time he's starting to see these extraterrestrial super beings, but the fact that there's a bit the more kind of inexperienced version. I just enjoyed seeing Samuel Jackson does that really well, but you still kind of feel, this is the same Nick Fury you'll later see in the Avengers and all the other films. So I think in that both the writing and the performance just really match up really well, and I didn't feel like we got they were writing for Nick Fury of today. They were writing a sort of just getting their Nick Fury as of now, and I think that was really good. And Samuel Jackson, just killed it.
As I say, one of the standards of the film. As I say, going on to Philip's thing about the Winter Soldier line, like you said, I kind of say it kind of what I guess was Doctor Who series never did is not as well. It's kind of like, oh, this is the thing, but surprise, we'll pull the rug under the carpet and it won't be. And I guess that kind of lines as well with the Skrulls. Obviously Ben Mendelsohn, obviously been in Rogue One, quite a few other films. Obviously they were kind of meant to be the villains of obviously the film, but obviously then it was a twist of they were actually the good guys, and the Kree soldiers, the kind of team, were the enemy of the film. I guess it kind of like every time you kind of watch back the Winter Soldier now, you'd be like, oh, it was a cat. But I like I didn't mind the Avengers thing set up. I thought that was not too bad. I know I had a few people go like when they saw Avengers on the plane, they were like, oh. That was quite a funny reaction. But no, yes, go you can of the Skrulls. What do you think of them and Ben Mendelsohn and obviously the scientist bloke as well? Were you pleased they were turned out to be the good guys in a sense? Or would you rather stuck with them as villains? Starting with Adam.
I would incredibly pleased that the Skrulls were the good guys in the end. I not just that it was a good twist, and you kind of went, oh, kind of taken aback by it. But Ben Mendelsohn has played a bad guy in quite a lot of films. Like you start out Dark Knight Rises, he's Daggett. In Rogue One, he's Orson Krennic. He's the man building the mother friggin' Death Star, and in Ready Player One, he's the villain in that. I think he's the Sheriff Nottingham in that Robin Hood movie that came out. Like, he's been quite a few villains.
Yeah.
He does it really well. And in Captain Marvel is no exception to that. I think, when you gotta have that stuff at the beginning. He does that really well, both in makeup and human form. We get to see the best of both Mendelsohn's world. I'm not gonna lie, I think the more I see him, the more I'm just a fan of that brilliant Aussie man. And yeah, I thought was I think played a very convincing good guy as well. Like, that's why I was taken aback, because I had like all these Ben Mendelsohn flashbacks and just like, my God, he does good really well too. I guess I need to see like more Ben Mendelsohn movies than just the big ones like Rises and Rogue One. But yeah, I guess we'll go back to the movie. The Ben Mendelsohn kind of discussion. I think the most effective stuff is when they go back to the bit and you see all the scrolls and he reunites the family, and those are like lovely moments and was just portrayed so beautifully. And it was, it's hard to act with prosthetics, but he masters it, man. He absolutely mastered it. I love the comedy, actually. They're in the house. It's just like they got the wrong location, I think, or something. I'm trying to like flash back, and then the Skrulls was like, I don't know, I'm sorry. There was quite a bit of comedy with the Skrulls as well, which when they revealed Hammer, I thought that was quite cool. They weren't just like mean, but they did have a bit of humor to them as well, which I thought their humor was really good too. So all cool.
Yeah, I said I did like the Skrulls, but I love them even more when they turn out not to be the villain. I know in the comics, obviously they're meant to be quite villainous. There's a comic series I think called Secret Wars, where one of the Avengers, some of the Avengers I don't know, are turned out to be Skrulls. So I guess in future films they could have like a bad batch, because they're probably, obviously they are kind of setting them up for, I guess, a Skrull twist. We might see that in Avengers 4, who knows. But yeah, I had more of an appreciation for him, and like I said, Ben Mendelsohn, obviously brilliant actor, and he really got to do his villainy stuff, but also managed to do like a kind of comedy light side, and obviously have that emotion of obviously being reunited with his Skrull family. So so what do you feel? What do you think of the Skrull reveal and Ben Mendelsohn?
I agree with you, because I just looked up Ben Mendelsohn. I was like, I realised I didn't look up what he looked like outside of the makeup, and I didn't realise until I did that he also plays Nick Fury's boss. Yeah. And I totally didn't realise that was the same actor while I was watching it. That's how good he was. I just completely did not realise that was the same actor. And yeah, he did a great job in both. Did anybody else? I thought that while I was watching it, I thought him as Nick Fury's boss, I forgot the character's name now, but he reminded me so much of the Iron Man 2 guy, Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
Is that meant to be Justin Hammer's dad or something? Because the look was so similar, but no connection there. It was just a random thought in the cinema. No, he did a really good job. I thought he had sort of comedic timing down really well when he needed to do it, but not in a kind of like slapstick way. It was very much sort of felt natural in the moment as well. And in the later scenes, once we found out that actually, they're not the bad guys here, and you get the scenes with his family, you get some lovely tender moments from him as well. So I think that was really well played. And I didn't really see the twist coming that the Skrulls were going to be completely good until later. I kind of assumed we were going to get a situation where like Earth is just stuck between these two people that are kind of both bad, and they're gonna just Earth's gonna get stuck in the middle of this nasty war where no side is good, which is kind of what it was in the comics. But to see this slightly, it was a good twist. I think it was a surprise. It kept us guessing. It does I suppose throw into doubt the Secret War rumors, because everyone had been sort of speculating the Skrulls turning up here. Maybe we'll get a Secret Wars film. The next Avengers film might be Secret Wars, but this kind of, the way this left the Skrulls doesn't really lend itself to that. Like you say, there might be another group, but I can't. I feel they need to do a bit more setup to make that believable now than if they'd had them be menacing in this one. But no, I really liked them. I thought they were good, and they were a good red-headed herring earlier on. They kind of acted in a way that felt that they could be. While you're watching it, you felt they were the bad guys, and then looking back on it, you go, okay, yeah, actually, I can understand why they would do that, even though they're the victims. So yeah, they were good.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, they had that threat whilst you had that perception of them being the threat. So that was good. But as I said, I think it was a nice change for.
Oh, and talking of Adam mentioned the Pulp Fiction references earlier. There was also the one where Ben Mendelsohn in his scroll outfit is holding the Slurpee or whatever it is, the soft drink he's got in exactly the same pose as Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, and exactly the same type of cup and everything.
Yeah. I did think when we slurping, I was thinking that's got to be, and I just remember they had obviously the suit on as well. And I was thinking, yeah, it's got to be a Pulp Fiction reference, which is all good. Going on to I guess the Kree stuff. Obviously, Jude Law playing her sort of mentor, who obviously turns out to be sort of the real villain in disguise. We have the Supreme Intelligence, who was played by the actress Annette Bening. Who also obviously is Wendy Lawson, who obviously is kind of a mentor as sort of before was obviously the accident and all that stuff. What were your thoughts on the whole Kree stuff and them turning out to be obviously Jude Law and her team kind of being the real threat? Starting with Philip.
I'm a bit confused. There are blue Kree. I thought they were all meant to be blue, but Jude Law isn't blue. There was
that's true.
There were a couple of others in the background that weren't blue. It was but they still have blue blood. That confused me a little bit. Again, it's a minor niggle, but I was like,
I guess some of the
and you're not.
I guess some of the actors were like, we're not doing the blue makeup. Just throw it.
Maybe. That was good. I enjoyed. Yeah, I thought that was a good story arc they had, and the way they set up Jude Law to be quite likable at the beginning, and I thought that was a nice turn. Although I think more people guessed that he would turn out to be a bad guy than guessed about the Skrulls. I think more people kind of just assumed that they would both end up being bad guys, whereas so it was less of a surprise. But it was nice how they did it. You kind of thought, okay, maybe he's doing stuff for his own motives, but he's gonna like try and protect her at the same time. But no, he was quite happy. And I liked what they did with him at the end, where they tried to they played back on that first fight scene when they were training, and him saying, "Oh yeah, can you take me without your powers?" And I like the way they at the end when they have their final confrontation and he does the same thing. He throws down his weapons and go like, "Come on, no powers, take me on one." She just shoots him with a blast because it's like he's trying to manipulate her and into lessening what she can do to try so that he has a chance to beat her, and she's having none of it, and she just does the kind of Indiana Jones thing of just when he pulls out the gun and just shoots the guy with a knife, no messing around, just like nope, just fires it at him. That was great. I love that scene. It was really good.
I kind of took it by surprise because in my head for some reason I was thinking, oh, this would be quite interesting, but I thought that'd be quite generic, and obviously then she like, I don't need your kind of thing, and I was just like, it was such a really kind of like, well done. What have you had, and what do you think of the Kree team and Jude Law?
I like sort of the team, what the screen time we sort of had with them. Like, I think Gemma Chan, her character sort of had a few lines here and there. I was quite looking forward to Gemma Chan being in the MCU because I think she's quite a brilliant actress, both in Sherlock and other stuff. Humans, my God. And then I quite like, I guess, if I'm going to bring it up, I quite like how essentially sort of it's the beginning of the kind of Guardians of the Galaxy angle. Like, I know one of the members will later run into Star-Lord at the beginning of the film when he
Yeah.
picks up the orb. Is who are you, Star-Lord? Who? Well, Star-Lord, man. That guy. I believe he was part of the team. So that was quite cool. And also Ronan the Accuser. They kind of had their Jude Law was working with Ronan the Accuser, which, oh man, you don't want to run in with Ronan the Accuser because that's what it all goes down. But yeah, I knew, of course, I knew like Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, and of course Park Chan could be in the movie. But I knew earlier on they were also going to bring in that one guy you see at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course the villain, and it's Lee Pace back as Ronan, which was quite cool as well.
Yeah.
You know, Jude Law's character, whatever his name is, cool performance. So it's quite cool that he's taking it seriously, but like Phil was saying, just like come on one on one. There is that kind of comedic wah wah kind of when she does like shoot him. I thought there's something charming about Jude Law's performance, but then again, Jude Law is a charming actor, so he does that excellently anyway. So yeah, it's quite cool. I guess, you know, just the fact that Gemma Chan and a few other actors, and I would, you know, a bit happy to see more of them, but they were very nice with what we have with them.
I didn't even notice Gemma Chan was in it. I know who she was now, but at the time of watching it, I was oblivious that was Gemma Chan. That's what blue makeup does. Just completely oblivious.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Jude Law didn't want to be in the blue makeup.
Yeah.
Nobody would recognise him.
No. Yeah, I think I was watching a video and they were going through the actors. Apparently, a lot of people didn't recognize, as you say, Reg didn't recognize the other team because they're in blue makeup. And as you say, it's just like, so I guess it's kind of like I'm in a Marvel movie, yay, but no one recognized me from the films because it's just in sort of like cape and blue makeup.
Karen Gillan should be in one and be blue and still be recognised. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. They were gonna. I remember you read in the original script they were gonna kill her off in the first Guardians.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but obviously then now she's in 2 Avengers films, which is crazy. Like,
I thought like going into the movie that it would be Captain Marvel and Gemma Chan's character that would kind of be, I don't know, like the best friends. But I know like later on in the movie, it's just like Gemma Chan's character does say, I don't really like you. It's just like she's being very snarky. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I just kind of thought maybe they'd be the kind of best friends of the thing, but she mainly more had chemistry with Jude Law's character, and yeah.
Go on to the other sort of Carol Danvers is obviously close friend Maria, played by British actress Lasha Lynch, who I think was in Brotherhood, which was with Noel Clarke, and she's been in a few other English stuff, and of course her daughter Monica, which to be honest, I wish you'd seen more of them. I thought they were, when they're introduced, I sort of instantly fell in love with them. Like I thought the mother Monica was just really strong female character, and obviously it's quite believable that they had this kind of like years long friendship, etc. Obviously, little girl as well. She had some amazing comedic moments. I thought, yeah, as I said, I really wish I could have seen more of those characters. Really, maybe we introduced them early on, but yeah, what are your thoughts on that mother and daughter relationship? Starting with Philip.
Yeah, it was nice. I sort of found out a bit more. I didn't really know much about Captain Marvel going into this in terms of the character. I'd never read any comics, I don't think, with Captain Marvel in it, or Carol Danvers in it, I think, other than the Ultimate line, which is a completely different story. But from what I gather, the daughter out of that pairing in the comics becomes Captain Marvel at one point. So it's quite nice that they fitted that in, you know, just a little Easter egg. It probably won't happen in the MCU, but it will. But it's nice that they included the character as a kind of like Easter egg nod to that in the comics. They were a lovely relationship between the two of them, and between them and Carol Danvers as well. It was nice and sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
I would probably just literally echo Philip, nice and sweet. The daughter's. I'd love to see that the daughter gets to pick out Captain Marvel's colors on her costume, and just like, yeah, I'm pretty much like, you know what, mate. It's kind of like this.
Yeah,
you
but
know
how
what,
is she?
give me a
How is she
complete
working
makeover.
that?
How's she what?
That bugged me because she's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to pick your colours, and then she's like, there's this display on her arm that she's just kind of doing all this to.
How are you
like,
doing that?
How is that? How are you deciding what she's wearing? Like, what? I didn't quite get that.
Yeah, she picked up really quick. It was like, yeah, like,
Yeah,
because I was looking at, it, I was going, like you said, it's like, how is she doing? What? How is she picking up different colours? Like, but no, as I said, I do really like these characters. I don't know. It depends, obviously, where the sequel goes. Like, will it be another adventure set like in the early 2000s, or will it be kind of a sort of Captain America Winter Soldier scenario where it's kind of like after kind of Avengers Endgame and that stuff. But I would like to see more of those characters. And maybe they might do the potentially having the daughter, obviously, because she'll be probably like, I don't know, early 30s, might be even older than that. I'm not too sure. Obviously, when Captain
How old
Marvel.
is she in this?
11 years old, known to be. So,
okay, well, she's my age then. So,
yeah,
because I was 11,
oh, right.
so she'll be 33.
There we go.
As of Endgame.
As of Endgame, yeah. So who knows? Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't know. It depends, obviously. I don't know if they will do a kind of like where her friends are really old, but
well, hold on, really old.
No, the mother's
careful.
Careful, okay. No, I mean, like there's sort of obviously been like this massive age gap. Like whether Captain Marvel's gone back in the 90s or early 2000s, like to see that. I don't know whether they'll.
Yeah, I can't see how they would have it that she came back to Earth any time between the 90s and Endgame. Really, they've got a bit. If they do a film set between those periods, I think she's probably got to be just in space and there not be any Earth element to it, sort of like a Guardians of the Galaxy type setting. I can't see how they would do anything on Earth between the two.
Yeah. I say obviously I don't really know much about the Captain Marvel comics or any sort of villains from the comic. So so it's kind of really is an open page book of where they could go after Endgame. I'm not too sure. I guess we'll see. What I'll say, just running off kind of obviously where Goose. I was talking about Goose actually, Goose the cat. It was quite annoying actually because I knew I think it would have been better if I didn't know what it obviously was. Obviously in the comics, obviously this alien, which obviously has the tentacles come out and it's this alien creature. So I think I would have had a better reaction if I didn't know, just sort of didn't research it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because obviously when that happened in the theatre, I think my audience had quite a really good reaction to it. They're like, oh my God, what the hell? Because obviously it's just presenting this obviously normal cat. So, what do you think of Goose the cat? I think in the comics, it was the cat's called Chewie as a reference to obviously Chewbacca. But obviously changed it to yeah. What was your reaction to Goose, and did you enjoy him? Starting with Adam.
Well, goodness me, there was a lot of hype around it. Just like, oh my God, cat in Marvel film and all that. He was adorable. I think like the funniest moment with Goose, one of the funniest moments with Goose was kind of in the trailer where Nick Fury first encounters Goose. And then I think, that was that funny moment where Nick Fury holds the cat up and like, go on, eat them. And then just like refuses to just like, come on, you let me down. There's some decent moments, but I guess that's the kind of thing. Like, I don't know if he was put in the movie just to be a meme or something. But I get it. I get the kind of appeal they were going for. It was kind of cool. And of course, if we're talking about one of two scenes of the post credits, of course, the Tesseract, he swallows that up. I feel bad, if bringing up the Tesseract already, but because that's there and that's all in the setup. I feel like I'm probably gonna have to touch it. Yes, the Tesseract's in this movie. Well, hey, I didn't get I kind of guess, oh, that's there. There's quite a few, there's a nice few Easter eggs, that nice kind of lead in, and I guess a few like Easter eggs that don't distract from like the Captain Marvel film, which I thought was quite nice. It did have those Easter eggs without it, it being too many Easter eggs. So I know one of the reasons Edgar Wright wasn't sort of interested in directing Ant-Man anymore was because they wanted more links with the MCU. So it's kind of one of those things that directors, they kind of want to really kind of give it their own vision and take it their own way, without having to be like without that kind of baggage of this whole MCU thing of having these Easter eggs or characters and objects and things. I've gone off on a random challenge with Goose. Yeah, cool.
I think this is probably one of this and these. I think with this, especially with this film, I think it's probably one of the last ones where they can sort of do the sort of like Marvel references. Obviously, with the Tesseract, I don't think. Obviously, because these stories obviously wrapping up in Endgame, it was just obviously Spider-Man. We have Nick Fury as well, and obviously always be MCU kind of Easter eggs. But I guess with this, obviously, it could have just been a random power source, but it's nice it's kind of linked to one of the obviously the Tesseract Infinity Stones. But I think it's probably one of the last films that kind of is so because obviously this film was heavily obviously drenched in MCU Easter eggs and obviously all that stuff. So I think it's probably their final chance they can do that, I guess, after post Endgame. Do you know what I mean? It's all going with new characters, aren't they? So I think it'll be like new stories. So I think they're probably thinking, oh well, we'll just have one last crack of the whip. Like let's get every Easter we can. Yeah, what do you think about Goose?
I knew he was an alien going in because I'd read that, but I hadn't seen any pictures. So I didn't know about the tentacles. I knew it was an alien, and but I didn't know what form the alien would take. So that was still a bit of a surprise to me when the tentacles shot out and sort of ate those people. That was still a very amusing. Just generally, that was. I still got that shock moment, even though I knew he was an alien of some kind. So that was good, and I think it was good comic relief throughout the film. Really, nice bit of humor. The only bit I didn't like about him was the scratch on the eye. We've already dealt with that. And what I want to know though is Nick Fury still has him at the end. Yeah. Where's he gone? Has he just been hanging out on Earth this whole time? Does he have the same lifespan as a cat? Is he dead now? Or, because, if he has the lifespan of a normal cat, he's probably dead now. But sadly, he might live for 100 years. Who knows? Is he around on Earth? And if, was he around back in 2012 when the Chitauri attacked and stuff? Like, what was he doing? There could be a whole spin-off series of what the cat was up to during each month. That would be great. Just on the sidelines, just in the background, just watching and coughing up a furball or something.
Because they're doing these Disney Plus series, just like Wales used to catch her in this event, this film. Yeah. They just digitally put him back into all the shots.
I think what we have is one of those Marvel short films we used to have. One shots, I think they were called, dedicated to Goose, or at least cameo.
They really need to bring those back. And I think now that they're on Disney Plus, because that's the perfect place to do them. They used to be DVD extras, but do them on Disney Plus. I want to see some short one shots again. Love those one shots.
Yeah, they were great. Like on the DVDs and that, I'd say they're a really nice kind of added thing. Like, obviously, Doctor used to do that as well, quite a bit. So I guess now it's kind of open for really like favorite moments, least favorite moments. Just throwing mine out there. Really loved, obviously, her becoming Captain Marvel, embracing like a full power. Like, I love how it was edited, kind of like the standing up thing and all the different moments of her life coming up. I think the first fight scene, I think it was just too dark. I couldn't see I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't see what was going on. It was very hard to make out which character was doing what. When the first, you're thinking what I mean. But and I thought that it was just too much kind of exposition dump. It was like, hang on, whoa. But always goes to pass that. I started to enjoy it. So yeah, any of your guys' favorite moments, least favorite moments from the film?
Well, honestly, having been 11 in 1996 myself, all of the 90s references just like scattered all over the place. I was like, I watched that film. I played that. I did that. I remember when, it was just like 90s
amazing,
reference heaven. All the, troll dolls and all sorts of things. There was, Game Boys and loads of stuff. It was great. I loved it. Great nostalgia fest for me. So I love that. I also really I loved the end fight scene. That was great. Like, when she fully powered up and just annihilated those ships, and just seeing the look on Ronan the Accuser's face when he sort of realized, oh crap, let's turn around and get out of here.
Yeah.
Really
I loved because she did a classic pose from the corners where she punched her fist, and the whole light stream went across his ship, and it was like, oh shit. So I really quite looking forward to her confrontation with Thanos, because I know obviously I saw a lot of people online say obviously we haven't been that invested in her story, blah blah blah. Obviously she's just come into it, but I think now going into obviously she knows obviously Nick Fury's not there anymore. She's kind of got that emotional investment in the fight towards Thanos. So I'm quite interested to see what. Obviously, she won't beat him hands down. Obviously, you'll probably have to do it as a team. But eventually, I want to see him go like 1-1 with the Mad Titan. What were you, Adam? What were your favorite moments, least favorite moments?
This movie, or already first moment, I was crying.
Stan Lee, yeah.
Cameos done, the Marvel Studios thing, I thought was excellently done, and he had a nice fun cameo in the subway scene as well.
I loved his cameo because it combined Stan Lee cameo with 90s reference with the Mallrats.
Yeah.
Love Mallrats. Great film.
It's been on my kind of watch list. I was watching because Kevin Smith's got his own YouTube channel, and he did a video about it. Like, he was like, I knew about it ages ago. Kevin Feige rang me up because they're asking, because apparently when he filmed it, he was quite weak at the time, and the lines weren't that vocal. So apparently, Kevin Feige rang him up to get outtakes or kind of alternative lines for that line. So it's actually not him saying it; it's actually from the film. But as he said, it's a very nice cameo. And obviously the intro was like a really nice tribute. But sorry, Graham. Sorry.
No, that's fine. The Stanley stuff was beautiful, and I think I think because we've got Endgame or Spider-Man Far From Home might be one of his last. Is either Endgame or Far From Home.
I think it's Far From Home. I think they've two of them. I think
they probably did one for Far From Home, and then I love the ones in Spider-Verse and the others as of recent. Those are lovely tributes. So we miss you, Stan. Thank you, Stan. As said, but going to Captain Marvel, any scene with the bar scene actually between Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. That's really where they properly bond, and the whole film really escalates with their chemistry from there. I liked the kid showing Captain Marvel the photos. Even though it was cheesy, I liked the scene where the kid was designing her clothes, giving her a new colour scheme. I'm pretty much she was the one who helped out with the Paradigm Daleks back in 2010. That kid's got a lot going for her. She's a great kid, 90s kid. Oh well, she's born in the 90s, so she probably grew up and she probably worked in her 20s or 30s on the Paradigm Daleks. But anyways, that kid's so cool. Probably one of the coolest, actually coolest kids since Scott Lang's daughter in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was the last MCU film. Do you know what? I think with these kids, they're gonna build them up to be at some point in the next MCU.
Avengers,
the Young Avengers.
The Young Avengers, and then eventually you'll see them become, but in their 20s and 30s year old. Actually, this is going to rumor game, but I did hear maybe they were going to get older actors playing sort of the younger characters we've seen in the MCU. But sorry, that's a bit of a tangent, but just sort of popped into my head, so just came out. Anything else? Ben Mendelsohn, Scene Stealer, but I knew that since but I was pretty much on his side since Dark Knight Rises. So that was going to be a given. Good performances. as you said, Reese, the scene where she becomes Captain Marvel was very powerful and very well edited. Absolutely, quality music, decent music, very fitting.
Yeah,
90s music and kind of regular kind of Guardians, Thor Ragnarok kind of space age music, and some of those scenes. The CGI was quite nice, look well rendered when you saw Kree and all that stuff. So it was a nice technical marvel. Sorry, but yeah, I'm looking forward. I can't believe it. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be seeing another Captain Marvel in the form of Shazam.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because usually I kind of with like Black Panther and Doctor Strange and that. I obviously new characters introduced. There's a good channel I usually watch called Comics Explained, and he does really good videos on like the history of certain comic characters and that. But Miss Captain Marvel obviously has had such a long history, and it's obviously the DC thing. I was kind of a bit like, I'm gonna just let the film tell me who she is before sort of going in, because I'd obviously know obviously it was like it was a bloke originally, and then they had another one. And obviously, it was DC. There's Miss Marvel. Obviously, then this is from a newer form of comics, which has just been the recent years of a story. So it's kind of I was kind of just like, okay,
Yeah, well, DC's one was the original Captain Marvel, but
yeah,
it wasn't DC then.
no,
Fawcett
no.
Comics, and then DC later on bought Fawcett. No, DC sued Fawcett Comics because they said
Oh right.
Captain Marvel was too similar to Superman, and then so
Shoot.
Fawcett Comics stopped publishing him because of that. I'm going really off tangent now to
No, crack on.
universe, and then because I watched a video on this the other day, actually, I think it was on NerdSync or something like that.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Or it might have been Owen Loves Comics, one of the comics channels I follow anyway. And so DC sued Fawcett Comics, got them to stop making Captain Marvel. In the interim, while there was nobody making anything called Captain Marvel, Marvel started creating a character called Captain Marvel, which is Marvel.
Yes.
Who was a male in the original, but in the MCU is that woman who is the scientist woman. She was Marvel in this. Which we haven't talked about. And then there was some back and forth between DC and Marvel. Oh yeah, and then DC bought Fawcett Comics and decided to revive that Captain Marvel. So then you had the two going at the same time. And yeah, and then eventually they changed the name of that one to Shazam.
It's not kind of alien for like comics to kind of do like Deadpool. You could say is inspired by Deathstroke, or maybe I think Deathstroke first, but yeah. You kind of think Deadpool. You kind of feel like in design and in kind of character some of the time. Of course, they're very distinct in their own ways, but whether it's design or certain character or certain couple of character traits, you kind of be like, yeah, there are kind of patterns, and you kind of see like that, yeah.
Yeah, over the years, you can tell off like Iron Man and Batman, like, and sort of, there's a lot of parallels between DC. Yeah, so yeah, any closing comments or closing thoughts on?
Oh, I thought we haven't really mentioned Greg Clark as Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
I, as a massive Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, I was really pleased to see him back. It was great to see him. I thought he was great as the rookie sort of agent. That was great. And yeah, that was just really nice. I can't remember how it ties into like his past established in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though, because there was definitely, I may remember there being an episode flashing back to him and Agent May's like past agent activities, and I thought that was earlier in the 90s, but maybe it wasn't. No, I thought that was like the 80s, but
right,
which wouldn't line up with him being a rookie in this, but maybe I got my timings wrong. I'm not sure, but it was good to see him back, and I'm still holding out hope that they'll bring him back into the movies in the present day timeline, because he's alive, kind of. I mean, he left at the end of the last season, saying he was about to die, and he had some disease that was going to kill him. But as far as we know, he's still alive. So, it'd be nice if they brought him back into the movies that are set in the present day as well, because the Avengers need to know he's alive. How they don't already, I don't know. But...
No. Like, I think it'd be quite good if that reveal was in it again, because obviously in the first Avengers film, that was kind of like one of the calling cards for them to become the Avengers. Like, obviously the end battle was obviously that kind of emotionally to to sort of do it. Obviously, Coulson and that. So
Yeah.
how many seasons are you Shield on? Like, so the last one I watched was the season with Ghost Rider.
Oh, they've had a season past that one.
So it's two. So season 5 and season 6.
Yeah, they've had season 6, and then I think season 7 starting in like October time. I think.
Right.
Had quite a long gap between seasons. I think probably to get Endgame out of the way, so they didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, yeah. I think because the Netflix shows as well, they were kind of saying, "What are you going to do? We're just not going to talk about it. We're just not going to."
Because the last season of Agents of Shield references the very last few episodes. While they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with, they reference something going down in New York, which is basically the arrival of the ship in Infinity War in New York. So that's kind of happening. The end of their season is happening concurrently with the beginning of Infinity War, but the timeline doesn't progress enough. So you don't see the snap. So nobody gets disintegrated at the end of that season. So I suspect they'll pick up after
they're waiting,
however they fixed it in Endgame, so that they just don't have to deal with the snap in Agents of Shield.
Yeah, yeah. That's they could do like a flashback thing, I guess. That'd be quite cool. Like, but they probably never do. The boy just say, "Yeah, we'll some of us got snapped, but we're back now."
Well, if it's fixed by time travel, then they won't even remember it happening. So in Agents of Shield,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it would have never happened. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I guess overall closing thoughts on Captain Marvel. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love the character. I fell in love with her by the end. I thought the start was a bit muddly. I thought they were kind of just dumping a bit too much kind of plot and stuff at the beginning. But once they sort of got on to the 90s stuff and Nick Fury came in, and obviously, yeah, Blockbuster as well. Like, that was quite a nostalgic thing, seeing that again. But, yeah, no, I really loved all the characters. I like this subversion of, obviously, who we thought the villains were and the good guys kind of swapped. I thought that was really, really good. Yeah, as I said, yeah, I've obviously heard the kind of... it was an interesting way of doing origin story. Like, I think people are kind of... used to the kind of trends of what an origin story is, and this is kind of like a sort of muddled up orders. But as I said, it kind of worked out in the end, and by the end of it, obviously when she had the hero moment, she was like had her full powers, and obviously she had that amazing sort of last sequence of taking down all the missiles. Like, I thought it was quite fun actually. It was just like one of them she just threw back, and it all just went. But yeah, so no, I'm really excited now. Obviously going into Endgame, kind of knowing who she is, and obviously she's kind of by the end of the film, obviously she's discovered who she is. But it'd be interesting to see in Endgame if it's kind of like a hybrid. Obviously, she's had like over obviously 20 years to kind of like what she's been doing, obviously in space and that. So yeah, no, I'm going to Endgame really excited. But yeah, as I say, the film I did enjoy. Obviously not obviously a bad film at all. It just kind of middle of the range Marvel film, very sort of drenched in kind of Easter eggs and nostalgia, like for the previous Marvel's film. So yeah, no, but I really enjoy the character, and yeah, bring on Endgame. Yeah, so what are your overall thoughts? Start with Philip.
I think it's very, like you said, pretty mid-tier sort of film. Very enjoyable, good watch. I would be happy to watch it again.
Yeah.
But it's not like one that I would go, oh my god, you absolutely have to see
Yeah.
this film. It's the best of the MCU. You know, I'm an MCU completist. I will watch it
Yeah.
again when I do marathons, and I will enjoy it. I might even occasionally pick it out and watch it, you know, just because I think, oh well, which film shall I watch? And I'm not doing a marathon. It's not like, it's definitely nowhere near like a Thor: The Dark World, which though I don't think it's a terrible film, I will only ever watch if I'm doing a marathon. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's a good solid film. Brie Larson does a good job, and it was really great seeing Greg Clark and Samuel L. Jackson back again, and all the 90s nostalgia, which I loved. So and some good fight scenes at the end. Nice sort of plotting and twisting, and with plot twists and stuff as well. I think they came at the right. It was well paced, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall a very enjoyable film.
I think one of the twists that I quite enjoyed was the Clark Gregg scroll thing when he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, where did you go?" And it was like, "Oh, that was like a really effective kind of playing with the scroll idea of like, oh, it could be one of us." So I think I say obviously I think I agree with you, Fleb. I think they need to do more groundworks to make them that more villainous threat if they were going to do something like that. The Secret War stuff in the comics, but yeah, I really like to see where they take that in the MCU because I think they could do some really good, shocking twists. Yeah, what about you, Adam? Closing overall thoughts on the film.
If I was to give a quote to someone, if Thor at the end, I like this one. I can't do Chris Hemsworth's voice, of course, but just if you guys
Like,
Chris Hemsworth at the end of the Endgame trailer saying, "I like this one," when of course Captain Marvel doesn't flinch when he brings Stormbreaker. I'm gonna have to get used to that. Actually, the fact it's Stormbreaker now, and not Mjolnir. I miss Mjolnir.
Easier to say.
yeah.
But I didn't mind. I didn't mind the tongue twister. I just, you know, it's Norse and all that. Yeah. It's a solid, entertaining film. Fun time at the movies. Solid performances. Nice visual effects. Good story, and yeah, generally, I can't really picture where it would rank in the MCU. One of the more solid entries in the bunch. Is it the 19th film we've got in the MCU so far? 18th, 19th, nearing the end of the.
I think it's past 20, isn't it? It's like 21, 22. I'll have a look. I'll have a quick Google.
I think I read something meaning Endgame is 20th or something, or maybe
Okay.
Far From Home is 20th. But yeah, it's kind of nice, kind of on the reflection. Like it's fun it's good that Marvel have been knocking this kind of out of the park, and even when you sort of have maybe not so much as a strong entry, it's still entertaining and still a solid time in the movies, and it doesn't sort of break the cohesion of watching. I feel like the references were done really well, and you could see that everything tied up really well. It wasn't just a kind of slapdash kind of way of doing it. And I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger's cameo as well in the movie. That was fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah, I guess now talking about the post credit scenes. Obviously I watched the first one, which obviously was an Avengers 4 scene, which I know the Russo brothers did with Civil War, having a sort of scene directly from that and just gone, there you go, there's a, a little 30-second scene. So obviously the first one obviously was with sort of the main Avengers really. Obviously got Captain America and Black Widow. Looking at the sort of devastation, obviously it's like half. It's like 3.5 billion. That's obviously racking up. Obviously half of 7 billion life. And then obviously they found somehow Nick Fury's pager. They managed to get it in, and obviously they're trying to see how it works, and they're wondering what it is. Obviously, because obviously Nick Fury, they kind of have that trust with him, so they're like, oh, we need to get this to work. And Black Widow turns around, and there she is, and then she says, "Where's Fury?" And the scene ends. I didn't think when I saw the pager, I thought, oh, okay, it's really cool. But when I saw her pop up at the end, I was like, wow, this is like, that was a really nice kind of like, oh. So obviously it kind of obviously confirms that she'll be in it early on. I guess it's weird with the Avengers trailers because you can kind of tell what time they're in depending on Black Widow's hair. Like if she's got the blonde sort of short hair, we know it's kind of early on, but obviously later on, obviously her sort of natural hair grows through. So, but yeah, what did you guys think of that post credit scene? Start with Philip.
Yeah, I'm always a bit disappointed when we just get a scene from the next film. I kind of liked it when they did something original that wasn't going to be in the next, wasn't going to be a scene from the next film. I mean, it works perfectly well. It's just, it would be nice. You just know that that's going to be a scene in the actual film. Whereas it would have been nice, I don't know, if they'd done something like her being in space and receiving that signal or something like that. And seeing that side of it that we won't see in the actual Endgame movie, and so you get to see the sort of opposite side of it, and just see it's just something a bit different. That would have been quite nice. But I get why they did it. They wanted to have the characters in it that are going to be in it. They wanted to have Cap and what's her name there, Black Widow there as well. So
Yeah.
it was good. Yeah, fine. It definitely got me excited for Endgame. So
Yeah.
it's purpose.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, I think it depends on what they're gonna do with the sequel, I guess. Like if they were gonna do it past Endgame, they could have done like maybe she's out with the scrolls in space and maybe some of the scrolls disintegrate around her and then she gets a message and like I said flies off. Like that would have been quite cool. But I guess like you said, it does keep you going like, ooh. So yeah, well, Adam, what do you think of the first post-credit scene?
Yes, it was nice. It's cool to have a clip from the next movie. I don't think we've had that since Ant-Man, so that was nice. It's just kind of I don't really have much pity. It was just like cool, you know. It's just nice seeing it. And then when you kind of brought up that moment where they do turn around and there she is in her new colours that a kid picked out for her, and I'm like, yes. I think I don't know. I think just that element of Captain Marvel, I just feel like she got her colours from a kid. They go for all these different designs, and that was the one that just makes me happy. Other than that, yeah, that was cool. I actually want to bring up something about the Endgame poster. That I love that Mark Ruffalo is the only one that is not suited up. Like everyone else is in their like suits, and then there's Mark Ruffalo in like just a regular smart suit, just as Bruce Banner, and just like, my God, it's like I wasn't invited to this costume party. What's going on?
It's the first poster that Bruce Banner has appeared on as opposed to the Hulk.
Yeah.
Every other time it's been the Hulk in the poster, but this is the first time we've ever had Bruce Banner in the poster.
Another thing cool. Poster that got to me was Okoye, who hasn't really appeared in any of the trailers or marketing much at all, and I kind of also kind of weird for me. I kind of forgot that she was going to be in the film. I know she survived the events of Infinity War, but I was kind of like, oh, of course. She's not like her name, the actress named Danny. I can't pronounce the surname. The actress isn't on the top of the poster, which is quite odd. But I guess she'll be there somewhere.
I think they've changed it now because a lot of people like tweeted and sent messages to Marvel saying like, why is she not in the name things? I think they did re-release it and said, here you go, here's a name in it. Like, but yeah, so they should have really put a name in it to start with. Like,
another thing that kind of got me was also some people weren't sure about Shuri, but I think when Bruce Banner in the first Endgame trailer was looking at, you know, the video footage or the things on the projections, she saw Spider-Man and then you see her. So feeling that, yes, Shuri did disintegrate because we didn't actually see her. So it was kind of left to someone's, you know, although it's meant to say that Shuri is cleverer than Tony Stark, that was kind of alluded to, that she is the smartest person in the MCU, and she might be part of how they forced to fix it in Endgame. But that's kind of weird. That's kind of left, you know, uncertain whether she survived. But I think because it kind of, for me, it could go either way. Like either she did survive it or she actually.
Yeah, it's weird they never shown that. But it'd be interesting to see if she did survive, kind of how big a role the Black Panther characters would play into Endgame. Because obviously they're not obviously with the main roster that we know of. So unless they're it'd be interesting. I'm quite interested to see what they play.
Also, survived as well. I remember that right.
Say again, sorry.
M'Baku, he survived.
Yeah. So
it's him and that haven't really appeared in the market. That's weird.
Yeah, I think there's a lot I think they're very careful with the marketing. Like, I think they've said they're only showing stuff from like the first 20 minutes of the film, primarily. So I think some of the battle shots we saw in the second trailer, I think obviously just for more later on. But they said mostly it's just 20 minutes, so it'd be interesting to see how much a part they play into it. Yeah, on to the second post-credit scene now. Goose the cat. I didn't see it, but I had just read a description online that it's Goose the cat pops onto Nick Fury's desk.
Didn't see it.
No,
I didn't stay to the end of the credits.
I didn't say to the end of the credits. No, I don't know. I don't know why. Because I left and I thought, oh no, I've missed the post credits. And then I was with a friend. They said, "Don't reckon it'd be post credits." I was like, "Nah, probably not." And then I looked and I was like, "Damn it!"
There's always a post credit scene in Marvel movies.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah, I know. So I now I've noted my lesson. Now I need to stay to like note we're staying to the very end. Yeah, so obviously, of course, it was Goose the cat using as a golf ball to, I guess, give out the Tesseract, which is quite weird to see how it got. I was watching a video, Mr. Sunday Movies. He does quite good comic stuff.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out where it kind of goes from there, because obviously it was in. It was so his first Avenger. It obviously had come. Tony Stark's dad picked it up after the first Captain Marvel movie. Captain America movie, sorry. And then somehow Miss Marvel, I guess when she was a pilot, got it, because obviously she was part of like the Shield kind of things. I guess she picked up and used it for that life. What should we call it? She was using the film to have that. They were trying to get the scrolls. But I'm quite sure.
I think because she was part of Project Pegasus.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't think the way it was portrayed in the film, I don't think that was part of Shield, but it was another government agency. So clearly there are links. So I guess Howard Stark found the Tesseract, and at some point it got transferred around and ended up at Pegasus, and then she worked on it from there, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can think of. Like, so the film really gave a reason, but I guess once I'm trying to think if there's anything between that and Avengers, like for the Tesseract. I guess it just kind of just went to Captain Marvel, and then came back, and then we saw it pop up in the Avengers.
Yeah, and then from the 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does experiments on it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's back at Project Pegasus in the Avengers. That building that they start out where the portal opens, that's Project Pegasus. So
okay.
So maybe Project Pegasus gets absorbed into Shield at some point, and then they have it there again.
Yeah, so I guess it can't do like a little trip with Captain Marvel, came back and just went back to Project Pegasus. So, but it's in Thanos' glove now. So, so I think that wraps up our live stream review of Captain Marvel. Unless you guys have got anything else to want to say about the film, or
no, comments if you wanted to.
Yeah, yes, that's a good idea. Let's have a look at the comments. I'll just quickly get my phone. Have you got them there with you, Philip?
No, yeah. If you want, do you want me to read some out then?
If that's all right, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Close it down.
Well, I'm trying to let me see which ones are. The Who editor says the Kree being evil reveal was not much of a twist for me, since they kind of had the scene with Jude Law talking to Ronan 15 minutes before they actually revealed the twist. I get what he's saying, but to me, that wasn't necessarily a reveal that the Skrulls wouldn't be bad guys as well, because the way that the Skrull and Kree war is presented in the comics is that they're both kind of like, they don't care about who gets caught in the crossfire, either side of them. So even though that revealed Jude Law as a bad guy, I don't think it necessarily revealed the Skrulls as good guys. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. there's no kind of disagreement with that. But yeah, I think even though he had that kind of talk with Ronan. I don't know, kind of thing. Yeah, Ace Creeper, great film. Higher. That's cool. He commented. Renee says you guys got to pitch Captain Britain. Yeah, it'll be a
Did
trio
the
of
Captain-
directors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're kind of getting a bit of UK with Spider-Man: Homecoming. Obviously, one of the set pieces on London Bridge, as people have
We've
been
also had
kind of
Edinburgh in Infinity War.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Let's have a look at other stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it, really.
Yeah, the Hugh editor had a question. I
Yeah.
heard this, but he said he heard, or they heard recently that they're thinking to have Deadpool take over the Stan Lee cameos. I don't know.
Oh my god.
A random rumor somebody's made up.
Yeah. So he's fantasized that and gone, that'd be quite a good idea.
Yeah, I think it
But,
might be a bit more expensive to get Ryan Reynolds for every film than Stan Lee.
That's how they set up the new kind of like when the X-Men that come into it, it would just be like through Deadpool's cameos.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I've got these other characters that can come on board. But yeah, that's a whole nother conversation about what Phase 4 will be. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed our review. I'm sure we'll probably do one for Endgame when that comes out, which literally is obviously like literally less than a month and a couple of weeks. Like it's not long at all.
So it's about a month.
Yes, in America, the rest of Europe, I think it's April 26th, but I was watching obviously on the UK trailer. It says like Thursday, April 25th. So I don't know if it comes out a day early in the UK. Yeah, because obviously last time they obviously did it simulcast, so no, because usually obviously it used to come out a week early in the UK and that, but now it's obviously with Infinity War is like everybody got it on the same day, but it seems like this time we're getting it a day early, so that'll be cool. So I'll be
And I'm going to work that week as well.
No, there you go. You can sort of have a day to recover from it.
Yeah,
I'll point
during the day when all the kids are at school. Great.
That's yeah. Watch it in peace and quiet. I'll probably try and go to a midnight screen. Actually, I did that in Infinity War. I think that's the first time I've ever done that for a film, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. So, but yeah, I digress. So, yeah, thank you to Philip Allen for joining me. I've enjoyed tonight's live stream, and I'm sure we'll see you soon for another trio of talking about Marvel films or Doctor Who or someone down the line. Have you got anything else to plug? Have you got any upcoming videos, Philip, for example?
I'm doing reviews of Star Trek Discovery at the moment. If anybody likes Star Trek Discovery, come on over to my channel.
Discover Philip's reviews.
Yeah, doing
Yeah.
that, and I've got some other. I'm trying to do at least one Doctor Who video every 2 weeks or so as well to keep because I know most people that follow me are there for the Doctor Who content. So
Yeah.
if I go too long without Doctor Who video, my subscribers might start dropping. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep one of those every 2 weeks as well. So
Yeah.
stuff in between. So if you like any of that stuff, come on over.
Awesome. Yeah. I was going to start the Star Trek Discovery series. Do you have to be quite in the know with Star Trek for that? Or
No,
can you just no? Oh, that's good. Yeah, because that's what I was kind of thinking. Like, I've seen stuff a few of the '90s episodes with Patrick Stewart, but
yeah,
apart from that,
there's stuff you will appreciate more if you've seen
Yeah.
some previous episodes, but you don't need to have seen it.
that's good. Yeah. Cool. I'll have to check this series out and watch your review. That'll be awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and hope you have a good week. And yeah, I'll catch you soon for more Doctor Who Marvel content. So, thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Cheers.